What's up, guys? Lord from Africa, aka Rogan Eyes Ryan, back at you with another video. And in today's video, I'm going to be doing a news cover reaction of a young woman by the name of Denisha Mathis who murdered her boyfriend by running him over with her car. The sad thing that I find just so strange about modern dating is you could be a man that's doing everything correctly. You could have your money right. You could have the best job. You could be the most nice, the most sincere, romantic man on the planet, but it will get you nowhere but abused by a woman nowadays, treated less than, cheated on, or possibly killed, like we see with this poor guy right here. But let's get into the video so you can see for yourself.
A man's loved one says he hadn't been dating a young woman very long before he decided he needed to break it off.
Well, Detroit police say that woman is responsible for using her car as a deadly weapon in his murder, and it was all caught on surveillance video.
7 Action News reporter Kimberly Craig has been talking to the victim's family. And Kim, that surveillance video, kind of hard to look at. I checked it out this morning, but it seems to point to clear intent.
Absolutely, without a doubt, that this driver was gunning for Terrence Ricks Jr. You'll see him.
Exactly. You know, guys, you have to know everything that a modern woman does to you is with clear intent. Regardless of if she treats you nice, regardless of if she seems courteous to you, you have to understand all of that is just peacocking manipulation sequences, okay? They are just running a manipulation sequence on you to get your mind distorted so you can then let your guard down. So the real destruction and just extortion can begin. Next thing you know, you're going to have your money took. You're going to end up in a very just bad emotional place dealing with most modern women because their intentions are clear of the destruction of the modern man.
Running down the sidewalk here as he's being chased by a car, and behind the wheel a woman now charged with first-degree murder.
My son didn't deserve to die this way. If my son's supposed to be burying me, not me burying him.
What happened to 25-year-old Terrence Ricks Jr. is horrifying, and Detroit police say this woman, 20-year-old Denisha Mathis, is responsible for killing him. Her weapon, this car, as young Terrence ran for his life.
She couldn't take the breakup because prior to that day.
Do you guys see how he was just running away with his whole life? And it's just very sad. That scenario is very comparable to the lives that us as modern, average normal men live when it comes to the dating market. It's literally like you're trying to run and stay away from women who are supposed to be your allies, your other half, your comrade in the deepest storms of things that you go through. But the 70s, 80s, and 90s, those days to where men and women were still able to be compatible and find some certain ground with each other are gone. And this is what all the boomers, the Generation Xers don't get. Things are not going to go back to normal in dating. It doesn't matter if you remove the internet. It doesn't matter if you try and bring back religion, these type of institutions, because the damage has already been done. We already know in our generation of us being certain type of men who grew up to experience the female dark dynamic of the dark feminine energy they give off. There's no going back. Most men are going to be MGTOW. Most men are going to be totally black-pilled, just doing their own thing, going monk mode, putting all their time into their self. And this is what I advise you men to do who watch my content always. Always be your number one biggest fans. Never care too much about people, regardless if they're your family, friends, or whoever. And this just goes to show you to what happens when you're a man who's nice, a man who tries to date a woman genuinely, and then you don't want to see her anymore, honestly speaking. You end up catching the end of the bullet.
Hey, I heard him on the phone telling someone, I don't know if it was her, don't call my phone no more and don't text me no more.
I know she's just been coming to the house She will pull in the driveway and she'll say hi, but other than that, no.
Mr. and Mrs. Rick say their son had only been dating Denisha for no more than a month, and it seemed he wanted to break up, but not Denisha, who came by the house last week Tuesday.
Remember, guys, what do they tell you about how us modern men conduct ourselves in relationships nowadays? They love to try and use the men who are simps, the men who are needy, to try and blanket that as a statement over all men. When in reality, women take breakups way more harder than men do because they're more willingly to get more violent physically because women already have been taught at a young age there are no consequences for their actions and there are no repercussions for anything they do. They're magical little princesses who deserve the world, and that's that. When you raise a woman up thinking, especially a Western modern woman up thinking that she's a queen, thinking that she can take advantage of everyone that so just comes near her way, you're going to end up with more women like Denisha here, who thinks they can just murder guys like her boyfriend Terrence just out of spite. All because they feel a certain way, all because they think they deserve the world. This is why I tell you guys, you need to just be in the mountains somewhere, meditating, eating all the fruit, getting all the vitamin A, D, all that you need. Because messing with modern women isn't going to get you anywhere. You're good by yourself as a guy. You don't need any type of just problems. You need less things to be attached to. That's why I tell you guys, you must become less attached to this physical, mundane, purposeless bullcrap world. Create your own purpose.
He was in front of my house arguing with my son. I came outside and told my son, I said, leave her alone. Come on in the house, man.
And about 15 minutes later, Mr. Rick says his son left to go to the store to get some cigarettes, perhaps not realizing Denisha was still around.
She was still in the neighborhood stalking him, and seen him up there on 7 Mile.
It's unclear if the two started arguing again, but what is clear is the evil that is behind the wheel. As investigators say, Denisha Mathis drove her car down 7 Mile, looped around in the parking lot as Terrence desperately tried to get away, but there was nowhere for him to hide, and the father of two was hit and killed, perhaps because he was a man Denisha Mathis couldn't have.
Now, we're going to stop the video right there and just pause it right there. Now, what do you think is going through this young woman's mind? What do you think goes through most modern girls' mind that we have to deal with on a daily basis? Like, I just find it so preposterous that women cannot own up to anything they do. Now, if you were to send this video to any woman, any woman in your family, any women that are around you and said, you know, women tend to do things like this even more nowadays when it comes to men not wanting them or breaking up with them, even if they get the chance to date them, because most men are out of the dating market. So if women are doing this to men and most men are out of the dating market, what do you think is going to happen when men just totally just stop messing with women at all? To where we have more male establishments that just are for males only and for women only. You don't think that women aren't going to go crazy and go even more primal? Because men are already in the West accepting that, dating, families, those days are over with. The only person you need is yourself. You don't need to have a bunch of friends and no family like that. That's all you really need. And for the men that are still sad about this situation that they're in, you have to understand, once you start meditating, once you start sitting with yourself, collecting the knowledge that you need, you know, only enjoying yourself for yourself mainly, you're going to then realize that most people's energy and just their presence and essence is just undesirable around you. And you really don't need none of that crap at the end of the day. This is why they're trying to push for men to be back in the workforce so hard. This is why they're trying to put shaming for men so they can continue to extract out of you the very resource that they need to keep this type of establishment and this system going. And what is that, my guys? Your time, your attention, your energy. Once they have all three of those things, they pretty much have you trapped. And this is why I say, you need to be working to get out of this system. You need to be working to necessarily have enough to sustain yourself to be able to enjoy your life of somewhat with any copes you can. Because that's what we're really only doing in life is just we're just coping our way through all of this nonsense. So you have to be able to find something that can sustain you and make sure as long as you're physically okay. All right? We have to stop worrying about what women want and what just people want in general. Screw all these people. Focus on what you want. And like I always tell you guys, this video is a prime indicator of why you should not be pursuing modern dating seriously anymore. Think about this for a second. You're going to spend your time getting money. You're going to spend your time getting flowers. You're going to spend your time taking this girl on a date. And all for what to happen at the end of the day. Her to just, I don't even know how to put it. Because I just find this whole thing so sad, when you think about what men go through. So I should say, you're going to spend your time doing all these things for a woman only for her to reciprocate by her just hitting you with her car. And that's just how it feels when a woman breaks your heart as a man. When a woman gets your hopes up. When she seems like she's interested in you. And she's texting you for a little bit. And she just ghosts you out of nowhere all of a sudden. This is just how it feels. You're just being ran over by a car. And don't think you're the only man that she's ran over. Metaphorically, emotionally speaking, right? She's done this to plenty men. So don't be getting attached to women like that. Don't get attached to no one like that. Your friends, your family. Get rid of all of that. Detach from all of that. Focus on yourself. And that's all I have to tell you guys. But I hope you guys got something out of this video. Like and subscribe if you're new. And I'll see you guys in the next video because I am trying to start this into talking about more news series on how this reflects dating. But you guys take care. And like I always tell you guys, stay away from the modern woman. Thank you.